Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Oddballs Behind the Scenes. I am co-creator of Oddballs, Ethan Banville. Of course, created it with the great James Rallison, aka The Odd Ones Out. And today we're looking at part 2 of Pillow Fight Club. So let's dig right into it. Now, this here is the scene where we show what happens when all of fun activities, which are considered risky, is removed. And this is where we ended up, and then I'm going to show you where we started.
Safety is boring.
Of course, a little fun from Mascara, one of the earliest characters we created on this show, who we absolutely love. Emily Eden is amazing. And then, of course, after this bits of boredom, Max and James appear in the door, and they have that great strut moment. But we're going to go into the animatic now, and you're going to see the level of despair, let's call it, that the other kids were in because they had not yet been introduced to pillow fighting as an outlet. So he's basically in a straitjacket, rocking back and forth, kids spinning around on the ground. Stuart's trying to get a kid into a locker, Pillow preventing him from doing it, so he's not having any fun. She's trying to run. Maz. She's literally just trying to smash herself into the lockers for some fun, but gets no result, of course, because Pillow. And then our boys come in.
Rosy cheeks, sparkling and rested eyes, extremely relaxed body posture.
So there you go. So that's the extendo version where they observe the guys coming in. We, of course, ended up deciding, timing-wise, to just have the guys immediately start strutting towards their lockers, and our composer Ben Bronfman did an amazing kind of enigma type techno strutting Gregorian chant thing that was just absolutely amazing. But the reason for these changes, of course, as you can imagine, is the network felt we went too far, which maybe we did in this case, because I think these kids are on the verge of needing to be institutionalized because they are so. But we really just wanted to demonstrate, what happens when you take away kids' outlets. They go bonkers. They need to get out and play and have fun and frolic as bubble boys do, as James says in the episode. Next, we're going to show you a bit from the first time everybody gets together for the pillow fights. There was a bit with Max that ended up getting cut for time, but it's kind of an amusing little joke that we enjoyed. So here's the boredom again.
Rosy cheeks, sparkling and rested eyes, extremely relaxed body posture.
So, sorry, just had to take another look. It's always fun to look back. So, of course, here we're finishing up. Everybody else is just blissful after their pillow fights, and Neanderthal, if you didn't know his name, that is his name on the right. There's he's a Neanderthal, so we named him Neanderthal just because James and I thought it was funny. It made us laugh a billion years ago when we were originally creating the show. And he's having a fight with Max. Who's going to win?
I call that move my tailgater.
So there you go. He high fives himself with his tail, with the tailgater.
And yes, I know that I'm a crocodile.
And yes, he knows he's a crocodile. So good old Max. We have a lot of jokes with him where, because pretty much everybody who's ever come upon the show, they choose one lane or the other. Either they go crocodile immediately, which is what Max is, or they go gator. I would say the majority go gator, but we have to correct them with crocodile. And we have more references to jokes like that coming up in, with the show. And episodes that you'll be seeing coming forward, and some other secret stuff that's going to be coming out in the coming months. But stay tuned. So let's move on to the next scene.
Can't say, won't say, no say.
So this is the scene where Max goes home after his parents have seen the handshake. Can't say, won't say, no say. And this is what it looked like in the final episode you saw.
Then maybe you'd prefer to tell Dr. Bolster.
Ah, sounds like you've been having too much fun.
So you see Dr. Bolster is there in the flesh, like a bear rug that you used to find in log cabins and things of that sort. But the original...
Can't say, won't say, no say.
Then maybe you'd prefer to tell Dr. Bolster.
He called him on the cell phone. And, I think we really actually improved in this, because calling the cell phone, that's pretty real. Why not go completely bonkers, as we like to do on our show, and have Dr. Bolster there in the flesh, but not sitting in a chair relaxing, having a cup of coffee or tea, but laying in front of the fire like a bear rug. All right, so Max is stressed. He disappears. James gathers the troops. So this is how this scene was abbreviated in the final cut, and then I'll show you the animatic of how it was a little bit longer and had a couple more amusing moments with Mascara and Stewart.
Thank you all for coming here on such short notice.
That's it. Right to it. Now we see it again how it originally happened.
Thank you all for coming here on such short notice.
Oh, actually, it was reasonable notice.
And I live here.
All right, forget the thanks.
Sorry, I had pause because it made me
Actually, it was
laugh.
reasonable notice.
And I live here.
All right, forget the thanks. It wasn't sincere anyways.
So
I mean,
I think the feeling was that James was a bit too acerbic and mean in this moment, but we enjoyed it, and unfortunately we had to cut it for time. But it's always fun to see. It was actually Echo, not Mascara, in that moment, but it's always fun to see them kind of giving it back to James and making him frustrated. Now we're going to go to Gifus, or Gifus. People again pronounce it differently, kind of like crocodile, alligator, but much shorter introduction.
sincere anyways.
So this is the episode. He introduces Gifus, and this is a little bit we have.
Is when I think of the king and his tea.
Not now, Gifus.
So just a little bit, but now let's see what our boy Gifus does when he's introduced in the animatic.
Here's what I think of the king and his precious tea. I need a nap.
Not now, Gifus.
So he has a cactus instead of a musket with a bayonet. He has a cactus at the end of a broom, and he's trying to use the cactus to stab the pillow that is supposed to be Dr. Bolster. There was some fear that we would be considered mocking the elderly, which of course we weren't. Gifus is just a passionate guy about his Civil War reenactments that he would do. Sorry, not Civil War, Revolutionary War reenactments that he would do, and that was taken away from him by Dr. Bolster in another study as well. But that's all gone from the episode, so let's move on.
I need a nap.
Not now, Gifus.
Now, this is a very fun moment. So I don't know if any of you freeze framed to see who's on the pillow that you're about to see come across your screen to clothesline the guard. But this, of course, I'll show you where it started after where it ended. But look who's, of course, on the pillow. That would be our own friend, James Rallison. And James was a real good sport about this. I don't think he wanted to, be drawn and pose in this manner. But the crew had a fun idea to put him on this crazy anime or waifu. I believe I was corrected by our supervising producer, waifu James, for this pillow. Of course, and I think, gosh, do I have it here somewhere? Somewhere, James. Oh, I have it right here. Let me see if I can actually get it to. If I hold it in front of my face, maybe you guys can see it. So that's a keychain size version of the James pillow that that he gave to everybody on the crew at the end of the run. So here's who was originally on the pillow. Smooth Jason. Of course, episodes got moved around. Smooth Jason hadn't been introduced. So that's how we ended up kind of here, I believe. And also just the idea of putting James on was incredibly fun. Now this scene here. Okay, so listen to the tone in Stewart's voice when he kills these guys, and then I'll explain why that is after I show you the original animatic.
Huh? What?
So it's kind of just kind of a lame little thing there. And then James just shrugs. Now, this is the much more violent animatic, which we were told we had to dial back because it was so violent. But have a look.
Huh? What?
So Stewart literally picks up one of the guards and uses his body like a pillow to smash into the ground along with the other guy.
You realize that's not technically pillow fighting.
Potato, potato.
Potato, potato. So the reason, of course, for this was one, the note on the violence. And then once we had to dial it back to that kind of like, Stewart, aka Carl Ferrolo, decided he was going to do that really lame weakling kind of voice because he hated that. We went back to this much more milder version of it. But, you know, these are the fun of these behind the scenes stories. You guys get to hear this stuff. Now, this, of course, is the ending where they first discover Max and where he's gotten to. And hey, look, Gifus, he's got his cactus in that one. He doesn't have his toilet cleaner. So we managed to save his weaponry for this scene here. He just doesn't use it on anybody.
Oh no! Max! It's worse than I thought! Oh, he's beyond raged out!
He's beyond raged out. Of course, we know from earlier some of the terms that we used differently.
Oh no! It's worse than I thought! Max has evolved beyond Stark Raving Max. He's become Meshuggah Max.
So this one, I still don't know why we actually had to change it, because when we pitched it, everybody laughed. There was a concern from someone, I'm not going to say who, not at Netflix, not on the crew, but they had a concern that, you know, people of the Jewish faith would be offended by this. I was in a Jewish fraternity in college. I ran it by many Jewish brethren. Nobody had an issue with it whatsoever. They all laughed out loud at it. They thought it was quite funny. But of course, we live in a world where everybody is scared of Twitter, so we pulled it out, unfortunately. So for you know, for our chosen friends at home, know that we tried to bring a little Yiddish into the show, because it just was, how do we go Stark, what's above Stark Raving Max? And Meshuggah was just kind of like the term that came up from one of the writers who's of the Jewish faith, who made us laugh with it, because we're just like, oh gosh, that's a word that people know, and it really does kind of take it to that next level. But needless to say, we had to change it, so it went to Raged Out Max. And of course, as promised, the original ending, which is kind of like an ender. So this is where the ending was at the end of the episode in animatic. Kids are playing again, having fun.
Oh, over here, Max. Oof. Who decided this was a good idea?
So James gets, gets pummeled in the face after his campaign for getting rid of all the fun because things are risky. He takes it to the face, having played a risky game, and then owns it a little. I think the ending of them electrocuting each other is actually better, but I wanted to share this with you guys so that you could see where the original ending actually was. So there you go. So that's another episode of Oddballs Behind the Scenes. We, of course, will have more episodes coming up. I can't off the top of my head tell you what is next. It might be Emo Like the Wolf Stank, but we'll have more coming up, and I can't wait to share more about the show. And of course, as we get news about the show and other things that are happening, there's merchandise. If you guys are looking for a Max, Toasty, or James plushie, you can get those at theoddonesout.com. Click on the Oddballs link. Also t-shirts. If you guys want an Echo shirt, a Max shirt, or a shirt of the gang all together, those are available as well. So go to, I will put the link in the notes, but go to theoddonesout.com and click on Oddballs. So thanks again, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.